So hello, my name is Kim Tsoukalas. I am franchise owner of Network in Action Twin Cities. I have a member with me today. Her name is Steffany Fleming with Inspire and Flourish. She is not only a member of NIA, but she is the founder of this amazing nonprofit that I am so excited to share with you guys all about and let you know all about what they do. I want to start out first of all by saying, Steffany, I'm so proud to have you as an NIA member and so touched and inspired by your story. I think your name of your nonprofit is perfect. And as I always say this, and I will continue, the world needs more Steffany's. Share with our viewers a little bit about what Inspire and Flourish is and what you stand for and what you support in your nonprofit.
Well, first of all, I want to thank you, Kim, for having me. You're the reason why I am part of this group. You're a wonderful leader and a great mentor to so many of us. Inspiring Flourish is a nonprofit, a 501c3 organization that creates and supports inspired events and services for the animal rescue community. So, and we've been around for about 5 years now.
What inspired you to start this nonprofit?
Well, doing things for others has always been a wonderful thing for me to do. I actually get probably more out of it, I know I do, than what people receive. And working with animals, I love animals. I'm a mom of 3 Chihuahuas myself and some other animals in the house as well. And I wanted to do something for the animal rescue community, and this was an idea that I thought would work.
You know, I've never met a nonprofit that doesn't have the challenge of finding quality volunteers and also just funding. You shared with me one of the unique things you did to solve that problem, and I think it's so cool. So share with our viewers about that.
Well, I started a business about 9 years ago this month called Mobile Memories Traveling Photo Booths. And so we're a full service photo booth rental company. And after being in business for about 5 years or so, I felt like there was something missing in my life. And at the same time, I started doing and thinking about doing some nonprofit work with animals, and decided what a great way to take the money that I make from the photo booth business to be a vehicle that could help fund the nonprofit. And then I wouldn't always have to be asking for money. So that's kind of how it started. And other than the cost of maybe my employees at the time or some supplies needed, we can pretty much donate most of the money to the nonprofit.
That is fabulous. When we first met, you shared with me a really inspiring story about one of the many things you've done to make a difference for vulnerable animals. And I'd love you to share with our viewers about that. I was so impressed and touched.
Well, the one thing, Inspiring Flourish pretty much just does what's needed. We call ourselves boots on the ground. So we keep a pulse on the rescue community and find out what their needs are. Back this summer, when the Taliban was taking over Afghanistan, there was a woman who ran an animal rescue group out there and reached out to the United States and Canada to try to get some help. And a very dear friend of mine who runs Mutt Mutt Engine, Sally Mars, reached out to this woman and started a plan to get these animals to the United States and Canada. And we had the privilege of taking one of the groups of animals that went from Afghanistan to Chicago, and we rented a van because we love our van. It holds 1,000 pounds of dog food, which we can deliver all over the state. But it wasn't big enough for these 9 large dogs that were coming in from Afghanistan to Chicago. Mm-hmm. We rented the van. We drove out there. The animals had been sitting in their crates for 40 hours for the transport. We took them out, which took a really long time. They were scared. Cleaned them up, cleaned their crates out, put fresh bedding, loaded them back in the vehicles, and drove them back to Minnesota pretty much in one day. And met 3 different rescue groups here in Minnesota that took those animals into their rescue programs. And I'm very privileged that we were able to be a part of that. And because of the funds that came to us just right in time, we were able to financially pay for all of that and not have to request the money back for expenses. So we pretty much covered it. That was wonderful.
This all happened around the time when I first met you. And it's so funny. I donated to this cause and didn't even know you were boots to the ground behind the scenes. And you should be proud. That is a wonderful, beautiful, inspiring story. Again, the world needs more Steffany's. So I know you joined NIA. You're a very, very busy person. And by doing that, I know a lot of the reasons is to get some awareness out of what, the things that the things that you support and help and things like that. What I wanted to know from you is, what can NIA members or even non-NIA members, what can people do out there to help and support your amazing nonprofit?
Well, first of all, Kim, I want to thank you for allowing me an opportunity to educate NIA members and others, like you mentioned, by being a vehicle and a platform for us. Going to the meetings and educating people about how a nonprofit works is really important. It runs just like a business, except we don't have any money that really comes in per se that we get to use other than for the animals. And when I come into an NIA meeting and I tell people, what we do and what I need, the NIA members have really stepped up. In a nonprofit, we need two things. We always need money and donations. And secondly, we need volunteers' time. Mm-hmm. And I'm doing an event coming up next month, and I've had both of those things fulfilled by NIA members. I've had volunteers that have stepped up, or people that have stepped up to volunteer for us. And I've had other people donating items to our organization for the silent auction. So that is a wonderful thing.
I was sharing that whether it's a small donation, a large donation, a silent auction item, some time to help support your business, whether it's administrative services or just support by volunteering, rolling up the sleeves and being there to help. There is nothing too small or too large, that doesn't make a difference. So NIA, it's part of my franchise agreement as an owner. It is a requirement that we take on and help charities. So that's one of the reasons why I wanted to be an owner, is because I believe it's so important to give back, especially to vulnerable like puppies that didn't choose and are very helpless to be in the situation that they're in. So I want to thank you so much for being a valued member. You're not only have a big heart, but you're a very smart business person, and you know a lot of people, and you've done a lot for my groups and my members as well. So I want to let you know how proud I am and how grateful I am to have you part of the group. And if anyone would like to reach you or learn more about what you do, what is your website for starters?
The website is inspireandflourish.org. You can reach me that way. And if you go to the NIA website, and you can find me, of course, under the roster there. Yeah. I respond to the emails that are on there, which is pretty much Fleming Steffany at Gmail. And then I can also be reached by phone via a text. So,
well, thank you again for being an amazing member of our NIA family. Please call Steffany and support and help her make a difference in this world.
Thank you, Kim. Appreciate it.